Hello and thank you for joining me for another quick demonstration video. This is video number 39 in a short film help series, and today I'm going to be covering quick codes for Magnet Field version 8.1. Now quick codes has been out for quite a while, but with 8.1 there's several enhancements that really make it shine now that I want to address. Now for entering, line work codes and using custom codes for more in-depth, go to video number 12, and that will get you started. Now this is just a demonstration. It's not meant to be perfect, not meant to be a true training lesson. For true TopCon training material, please visit our TopCon positioning website, log in, hit your logo for where your picture would be, and come down to My TopCon Now. Professional Services put together tons of great content on a lot of TopCon products. So that's going to be your resources for true training. Now today, just to cover some of the topics we're going to be covering. So number one, quick code selection growth. What I mean by that is they've added a lot more options for more control codes. There used to be just a maximum of 9. Now that's expanded. Instead of a 3x3 grid, you can do a 4x4 and even a 5x5. And then I'm also going to talk about how that affects the scale in the topo screen. Then also in the topo screen, when you right click on a quick code, you bring up control codes, and in that there's a couple of additions. One is to increase and decrease the string values that's in that list that you don't have in the old way. And also we've added line gaps to strings. I have a brand new job created, and you can get to your control codes to set them up a couple of different places. One of the places that you can do that is actually under the configuration menu. Now under configuration, just go to codes, and then the first tab you see here, quick codes, allows you to get in here and edit your code options. Now I have 2 groups, and you can have multiple groups depending on the different types of descriptions and string values that you want to use for many different jobs. You could have something for GIS, you could have something just for any type of specialty, I guess that you could say. Now all you have to do is just add, but we'll go ahead and just edit one that I've already created. First you need to give it a group name. Once you have a name selected, you can also choose how many boxes that you would like to populate. Now this is a 3x3 grid going up and down, but you also have a 4x4 and a 5x5. Now one thing about this, even though I'm not going to be using all these, I still like using a 5x5 grid, and the reason being is, let me show you a couple quick screenshots here of Magnet Field topo screen. Now this is a 5x5 grid, and I'm only using about 8 codes. This is a 3x3, and see how the scale greatly increases, and then back to a 5.5. I personally like using the 5x5, even though I'm not going to be using all these, but you do have that option. Now notice here I got like a top of curve, edge of pavements, and different things. If I want to add another one, number one, just check a box and then hit the little edit screen, and here we can just add. You have a drop down to choose whatever description you want to have for a quick code. Let's say a benchmark and attributes and so forth, but we'll just green check out of here. So we've added a benchmark if we want to have that in our list. I'm going to uncheck that, and actually let's just delete it out of there altogether. I don't need that, and let's show you how to do that. So it's empty. Uncheck it, and let's just green check mark out after we've built this the way you'd like. Alright, Now let's just go right under your survey and let's go into Topo. So in the map view in Topo, Fixed Solution Simulation Mode, I'm going to go up to the magnet button, Mighty Magnet, come down to Quick Codes, and I'm just going to click on the group that I want to use for Quick Codes, and it loads them transparently over my map screen. And when I get ready to take a topo shot for a point, you just click on one of those buttons. Let's go up to the map editing screen and choose background, and I'm going to turn on my overhead street maps for this demonstration. So we're going to be creating line work down this road. We're going to start off with point number 1, and the south side is going to be edge of pavement string number 1. That's going to be one line. The north line is going to be edge of pavement string number 10, a whole separate line. Now in the old days, we'd come down here to the description box, type in EP, give it the string value of 1. If it needed a control code, we could choose that here, like arc start, arc end, and you can still do this with this version. And then you just measure the point. So we'd walk across the street. Now let's start using our quick codes. I'm on the north side, so this is line number 10, so I just measured that point. Let's come down to where I want to measure the next point. Now this is going to be a gap because I'm going to just run this across the road. Measure EP10, but I'm tapping and holding down to bring up my control codes. Now I'm not going to increment the lines or decrement at this time. We're going to show you that here in just a second, but that's something new. We're just going to do the new feature line gap. So it measures the point, and I'm going to walk across the street. And now when I do EP10, green check, or just tap EP10, the line's going to continue but with a gap. And I'll show you how the selection works a little bit later. Now this particular is going to be the arc start of this next curve. So tap and hold down for a right click, and let's do an arc start. I'll walk across the street. I'm going to go to the EP1 and I'm going to tap and hold for a right click, and let's do an arc start for the south side of the road. Now we'll measure a couple of points along the arc. This is EP1. Step across the road for an EP10. This is not a real strong curve, but it should give us a little bit of a bend. EP10, and across the road, EP1. So much faster than typing it in down in the toolbar. Now here we're coming down, and we're going to just, in this example, end the arc here and here. So walk down, EP1, tap and hold, and let's do an arc end. Walk across the street, EP10, tap and hold, and arc end. So let's zoom in here a little bit tighter, and you can see the nice little slight curve. Curves more up toward the left side than this little tangent line here, but you get the idea how that works. So let's kill this line at this point, string number 10, and create us a new lines on both sides of the road here. And we'll just call this, we'll just increment both of them by 1. So I'm going to take another measurement right here, but increment this to number 11, string number 11. So I just stored a point, number 11, well, for the string. Go up to where you want to measure your next point, and now just quick tap, EP11, walk across the street. Now tap and hold, increment this by 1 to number 2 string, and then from here on just tap EP2 to measure your topo points. So once you've measured your last point, I think we're in that video pretty much here. I do want to show you though, just by clicking on each individual line, that it is an independent line now, and even the one that has a gap, even though it has a gap, it is treated as one individual line. So that concludes this demonstration. Thank you for watching.